Welcome back to Reap What You Sow. My name is Seth Schaefer, and I'm here with Mr. Joey Santiago. Welcome.
Hello.
You guys may know Joey. He is the iconic band Pixies guitarist. Welcome. Love to have you on here. It's been awesome listening to your music and seeing everything that you guys have been working on. And, I know you're going on tour soon, and you got to be excited.
Yeah. Of course.
Staying busy.
Staying busy. 30 years of busyness. Well, there was a break in between, but yeah.
Amazing to see what you guys have been doing with music for as long as you have been. But the one thing that I wanted to talk to you about was the Pixies. For such an iconic band, they have this idea that it's a band with no image, and the way you're dressed, the way you look, the whole thing. Where does this all come from? Where does this? You're not the band in a t-shirt. You're the guitarist who's always dressed up and looking sharp now. I want to know more about that.
Well, I mean, after a while, I kind of got sick of the wearing t-shirts and stuff, and I don't know. I just want to look more grown up. You know what I mean? And I used to just roll out of the bus and go on as is. And I started dressing up one time, and it was like, it's like a different persona going now, because that's kind of what I want to feel. I don't want to feel like that guy that just had breakfast.
At 4 p.m.
at 4 p.m. Yeah, and I just, it's just part of the routine of getting ready. You know what I mean?
So now, when you dress up and you put on your stuff, you're ready to go.
Yeah, it's like it's showtime. It's showbiz now. At first I thought, I don't know, this might be too dressy for the Pixies, but it's not. I don't care. I'm a guy that doesn't really care.
I mean, you're a rock star. You deserve to dress up. I mean,
well, it's more like taking the pressure off when I go on. It's more like it's someone else, and that's what I want to feel, that it's someone else.
So now, with playing music and this whole thing, you guys are from Boston originally, right? You and Charles.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you guys find each other, and then what does that look like moving forward into the Pixies life?
Oh, it was out of a lottery, people just picking roommates. You never know what's going to happen. I was totally nervous I was going to get a jock, and
you played some sports though, right?
I had to. I was in prep school.
Oh, so you were forced to play.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I was quarterback, 6-0. Yeah, beat choke. So, and yeah, but I wasn't a jock.
Yeah,
you know
just did it because you had to.
I had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, what? So you got what? What do you mean?
They actually call me the Frock. Freak jock.
The freak jock.
Yeah.
So you're at school, and then you get what? Are you in the same dorm? You in the same?
We got the same dorm. It was a suite, and he happened to be in one of them, and he had an acoustic guitar. He had really interesting songs. And it's always what I want to do, is make stuff up rather than cover songs.
I'm not a big cover guy.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it, and I didn't want to be stuck in a bar, and doing that stuff. And plus, it was just more interesting.
So you guys end up clicking, and then it all.
Yeah, we did. We got along as friends, and then we, we were roommates from doing summer break. We'd take summer classes, and then we went to Boston. When we started the band, we were roommates for a while. Yeah.
So then you left school at some point to pursue music, right?
Yeah, I dropped out. Withdrew. It was a dropout for sure.
How did how did you reach that point where you're like, I'm done? We're pursuing this full time.
Right after our first show.
First show.
You're
like, that's it.
That's it. Done with that nonsense.
It's always there waiting.
Yeah, I could always.
People can always go back, but
I could always educate myself, but
so
there's always books to read, and
yeah.
I mean, you don't have to necessarily do that.
No, I don't think so either. I think more than anything, it's awesome to know that you guys saw the opportunity and then you took it. And I mean, it takes courage, especially like family and the whole thing. You're leaving to go pursue music, and to actually have something happen out of that is mind-blowing. It's awesome. I mean, it's magic.
Yeah. It was, I don't know. There's some luck involved, but after a while, after 30 years, it's not lucky anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Did you guys know where you would end up? Did you have an idea?
Kind of, you always have a vision,
It's cool.
I mean, no one picks up a guitar and says, I'm going to play at that bar forever. It's like you get a loud amp so you can play it to a lot of people.
It's true.
You don't get a loud amp to,
to play for you.
Get have the cops come over and tell you to
turn
that
down.
shit down.
Yeah, the Spinal Tap 11.
Yeah.
Turn on 11.
Yeah.
So now a lot of people know things about the Pixies. Everyone knows a lot of the questions about what you guys do, music and all the other stuff. But about you, I mean, like, what's your family life? Like, what, you have kids, and like, what are they doing? Are they interested in music?
Oh, my daughter's starting to get interested in music. She wants to learn herself now, which is great.
What's she playing?
What's that?
What's she playing?
She plays the cello, but now she wants to pick up the guitar.
Really?
So she's been asking me, Dad, can I have a guitar? And I go like, take your pick. I got like over 20 of them. It's like, which one? It's like, take your pick, man. It's gotta look good. You gotta like it. You gotta like the feel. They all play well. So it's a matter of, after a while, it's the aesthetics of it.
I think part of that is really cool too, is that if you don't push someone into something, that she just kind of fell into it, like, oh yeah, I'll start playing some stuff, and
yeah,
you don't have to force her to.
There's some, it's like, people get punished sometimes. Some kids I know, it's like, you got to practice. It's like, a punishment for me would have been like my parents taking the guitar away, So it's it's messed up. It should be forced. It should be fun.
Yeah. That's why you did it so much.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I'm not forcing the kids into it.
Yeah.
I don't actually.
So then, what about Joseph? Is the boy? What about him? What about your son?
My son is a reluctant violin player because he has to take it.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. He broke his finger the other day.
Doing what?
Football.
So he likes sports.
He likes it, but there was a recital Wednesday, and he said, "Do I have to play? You think I have to play?" He goes like, "Nah, you got a broken finger."
Yeah, you can't.
And then we put and then Monday came around, we put a cast on him. He broke it Saturday, so Monday there was a cast. I go, "You're definitely not playing now."
Was it like a finger, like the little finger cast, or is it like?
No. He had a splint.
Yes.
But that wasn't gonna work after a while, so they just put a cast. So they.
Was it the two fingers?
The two fingers, the three fingers, and then that.
Oh man! So he can't play.
Oh no, he's still able to play.
He's
Fortnite.
Still playing.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's all over it.
Oh yeah, I think that's the first thing he did. Was after that he's just like did this. It's like I'm fine.
So what? So he's into sports. daughter's starting to get into music. I think she paints too, right?
Oh, she's a great painter.
Yeah.
She's a great artist. Very good artist.
That's got to be pretty neat too.
I'm not just saying that,
Yeah.
I mean,
I've seen her, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I was
talented.
Yeah, we went to an art place and art supply store, and $500 later, she was happy. The thing's gonna get used anyway.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's awesome to not only know that you're not pushing them into something, but you also are supportive of, hey, if you want to do this, go for it and try it. And it may not be what you do, but it doesn't mean that they can't pursue it.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good way of, for parents and stuff. Like, no, you don't want to force some people do. They force them, like, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do this, and they don't like it.
Yeah, they end up being miserable doctors and lawyers.
It's not fun.
Nah.
Not fun. But did your parents have like a direction they wanted you to go, and then you started playing music and going somewhere else? Where do they want you to? What was the occupation they wanted for you?
They just wanted me to stay out of trouble. That was the one main concern. And my father took me to a place to be like a diesel mechanic.
I couldn't see you doing that.
I couldn't see myself doing that either. Like, what are we doing here?
He just surprised you and took you there.
Yeah. The mechanic scared the crap out of me. Their personality was like, whoa.
Well, give me what was the personality like?
Like, it's like, I'm not like,
That wasn't for you.
Nah, I'm just, I'm a mellow fella,
Mellow fella.
Yeah.
Well, what's a day-to-day to look like for you? What do you do? Like during the day when if you're not rehearsing, if you're not recording, if you're not on tour, what do you spend your time doing? What do you like doing?
I like to, I know this is, I start my day off quieting my brain, whatever that takes, just be quiet for some time. And then, I'm a dad, so anything happens. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I could plan it out. It's probably not going to work,
Yeah,
so
they keep you on your toes.
I like playing golf now. I'm yet to go back out cycling.
That's gonna be your thing. Cycling.
Yeah. I've been doing it for years. I've been doing it since.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
I've been doing it since I was in high school. I mean, riding.
10 miles or something like that.
More than that back then. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I did a charity event, and it went across Massachusetts. I think I did that when I was 18. That was my first century ride. 100 miles.
That's a long. What was it?
100 miles.
100 miles
it was the total for 2 days was 189.
Wow.
Yeah.
In 2 days, how much time is that actually on a bike?
It wasn't that long. Maybe 4 or 5 hours. Well, no, more than that. Jeez.
Yeah, I was gonna say
maybe 5 hours.
500. So
20 miles an hour. If
if you keep up with that pace.
If you keep up that pace.
Wow.
So maybe it was 6 or 7 hours.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a long. I mean, a bike isn't comfortable. I mean, you're like the seat's hard. It hurts your ass.
Yeah, that's why you gotta wear that stuff.
Oh,
and there's a particular way to sit on that seat, so it doesn't hurt you.
It doesn't cramp.
Yeah.
Me and Curtis bought these bikes because I'm not a biker, and I'm a skateboarder. So we bought these bikes, and for the first couple weeks, I didn't realize that I had the seat too low, and it was like,
oh yeah,
riding like a little
oh, that's
kid.
important.
Yeah, and then I figured out like, I need to raise this and extend my legs, and it became more comfortable, but it's still kind of, you're hunched over a lot. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, if those seats were soft and cushy,
you could just go. Yeah,
I mean, you wouldn't even want to kiss your ass after that.
I mean, what got you into cycling? What got you into now you're doing like even golf. What got you into both of those, cycling, golf?
Well, cycling was a time of, yeah, that's a good question. It was just very serene when I was on the bike, you know. It was it was it, it was better than walking for me, and certainly more scenic and you're more aware when you're than driving a car. And you're right in that that eye level where you could see stuff. Yeah. And all you're just thinking about nothing, you know.
Just getting to where you need to go.
Just going, you know.
Just taking it all in.
Yeah, you should go on my bike and just get lost, you know. I love getting lost because, it's freedom.
Yeah, you just go.
Yeah.
I guess kind of even pre Pixies, the guitar, even golfing and even cycling all kind of have that same effect, I would guess. You kind of get to play and it clears your head.
Yeah, I don't know how long that ride is, but I rode my bike home to my parents from UMass. So that was from Amherst to Longmeadow. I want to see how far it was. It's not that long. People think my brothers thought I was crazy, but it's like, nah.
20 miles.
Well, you might be right, but it's not a crazy ride.
It's not crazy to ride that. No. I like, me personally, 5 miles on a bike. I'm like, that's a long time. But I met a guy recently who rides his bike 9 miles to work and then 9 miles back. I'm just like, that's a long. That seems like a long ride, but I can see, especially California, I can see it being enjoyable if you're riding around here. I mean, it's always nice. You don't really have to worry about the weather.
He probably goes to work in a different mindset. I bet you it'd be different if he took a car.
Sat in traffic and
all that stuff.
Got agitated the whole time.
I bet you he's done that and then rode a bike and goes like, I think I'm better off starting my day riding this bike.
Are you into meditation or anything like that?
Oh yeah.
Is that yeah?
Yeah, that's what I've been fully immersed in. I even had a meditation coach. I know.
Big boy.
I got rehabilitated 1 year, and I noticed how loud my brain was, how loud it was.
And that helps you.
Yeah, I didn't know you could actually shut it off, for 8 minutes.
And then it.
It just takes 8 minutes. You don't have to do it like all day.
Yeah. Yeah, I think guest that we had on a couple before, he was talking about meditation, and since then I've been doing it more and more regimented and things, and it does help. It is a better way to start your day in the morning by just taking some time to be quiet. And I picked up a little bit on that because that bike riding and golfing and music and meditation, they all kind of have that same effect. It's just a little different, but I guess really the big thing is being present.
Yeah, it's the modern world. You could be busy right away. You could be checking your messages and all that stuff. There's no break. Back then, people had a form of meditation, anyways. You wake up, it's quiet. So they had a different. You want to get back to that. Primal way of waking up.
Yeah, it's nice and relaxing when you get up in the morning, and
it's not a strange concept at all. Asking for 8 minutes of
a day.
Yeah, it's really a good investment.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'll start off just a little happier, and I used to do the thing where I wake up and then I leave. I wake up in the morning and I'm out the door and I'm done. Shower or whatever, boom. And that little bit of time in the morning to kind of take care of yourself before you get things going, I think it really does make a big impact on the rest of your day.
Oh yeah, I know it works when I don't do it.
Yeah, that's when you pay for it.
Yeah, that's when like, that's when I know it works.
Yeah, when you see the before and after the next day. And
yeah.
Well, so one of the other things I kind of wanted to touch on as far as music and things like that was, as a guitarist, what do you like to play of the Pixies, and what's your favorite song to play and what's your least favorite song to play?
Oh,
because that's always
my favorite song to play would probably be.
You don't have to tell me least favorite. You can just tell me.
Yeah. I don't know. It changes. The new album.
Yeah.
Every one of them I like to play, and then from the old stuff, probably Dead. And Vamos on some nights.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah.
And I've been lucky enough to see you play a couple times, and you have the anti-solo kind of solo. You do that, you pull out the thing and do your bit, and that's where like the hat has the.
Yeah, the hat's ruined. This is I do a solo with his hat, so it's.
Where did that come from to start playing the solo like
just
that?
One night it just happened,
and you just rolled with it?
I just rolled with it. There's only I'm trying to do different things with the guitar.
It sounds cool.
It's running out of ideas, but sometimes I won't do this because I feel like
No, you do.
I just don't feel like doing it.
Now with song creation and ideas, especially with the newest album being put out and everything, how do you guys put music together? Do you come up with how do you come up with your music, and how does, as far as writing riffs and doing stuff like that, what brings that all together for you?
Well, Charles starts off, writing the chord progressions, and the lyrics come last. And I'll do something with the chord progression.
You start to play around with it.
I start playing around with it. Just making sure it's different. Yeah. We're recording right now. The way I prep is I listen to music.
Really?
Yeah. Like, really listen, not just in the background.
Be present listening.
I'm present, I'm listening to it, and I'm going, and actively listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then soaking it in.
What do you listen to?
Right now, what was in my car? The Ngozi family. It's South African band from Zimbabwe. Their fuzz guitars are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't give a crap. They just don't. And you could hear it. They're just out there.
So what else do you listen to? What else? You got some.
I listen to jazz too, just to break it up.
Yeah.
Listen to the rhythms, listen to the phrasings, and jazz, you figure out that, geez, you don't have to be loud all the time,
They really.
Sometimes when they play really soft, your ears just go, what?
The dynamic
of it, it's more, it gets interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that too, that when they pull it up and down, and especially any like modern jazz you listen to it and there's just a lot going on sometimes, and you're like, whoa.
Like I was listening to Paul Desmond. I think he's a sax player. He really plays soft. Like Bill Evans really plays soft on the piano. I like
that's
that.
Cool.
That's when I think good stuff.
Positive things,
yeah.
So what's some good stuff you got going on in life? What's going on with you?
I've been back into the golf game.
That's the new thing.
Yeah, I love it.
You have a trainer, you have a coach, or you just...
Nah, I took a couple lessons to fix some stuff that I thought was obviously wrong.
Where do you like to play?
In public courses, just
all around.
All around.
How you doing? You shooting good?
shooting good. Last one I shot an 85, but I 6-putted 3 times.
Ooh,
I could have broke 80.
You 6-putted?
I mean 6-putted. I 3-putted 6 times.
I was like, jeez, man. I was like, your short game must be good, dude. If you're 6-putting.
No.
Yeah, putting is the hardest part of that game. But I think for golf, the best thing that you can do is if you don't get upset about it, you don't get mad about it, you just enjoy the game, you'll do better.
Oh yeah. Before, I'm shooting better than ever. I am, and I stopped playing. It's just my attitude towards
golf,
every shot is different now. I could erase that bum shot in a second.
I think that goes a lot with life in general, of just changing your attitude towards stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, you'd be amazed on how big an impact that can make on something, of when you have a different outlook, a different perspective on things.
You're given another shot. Maybe that's where it came. You just got to think of it that way. It's another thing.
Yeah.
Another moment to deal with.
Now with business side of a band, I think is really interesting, because you guys are touring a bunch. I mean, you guys just came off a tour. You're going back on one. You're doing a European tour, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how does the business work of this thing? I don't know much about the music business, so kind of inform me on how does everything work? What's the preparation like for this?
Well, as far as going on the road, it's how long is it going to be? Where is it? And am I going to come home broke? Are the bills going to be paid?
Yeah. Yeah.
And those are the criteria.
Those are the 3 checklists for you.
Yeah. I don't give a shit where we play.
Yeah.
And then the length of it. Sometimes I don't, I don't mind it, but I do have a family now.
Yeah.
So that's gonna do it. So yeah.
What's the longest tour you guys have done?
I don't know. I think it was more than 2 months at one point.
It's a long time.
Maybe even 3. I forgot. It was a long one.
What's the life like on the road? What's your lifestyle like?
Well, now it's I walk around town.
You get to see each city and each place.
Yeah, I walk. I considered getting a bike, but it's bicycle. But we have fold-up bikes, and I could go around with that. But I prefer to walk. It's kind of like less dangerous, less.
Last thing you need is any.
Last thing.
Getting doored when they, like.
Actually, on the way here, I went to visit a friend, and it was at the boulevard at his work, and I opened my door and I got some dude screaming, and you're like, whoa, and I almost doored a cyclist. It was like, wow. I'm always careful about that, to check in the rear view mirror,
Today.
Yeah. The guy was hauling ass. So I probably looked, and then in that flash, so now when I make sure, now I'm gonna make sure I look at the rear view mirror the whole time.
Yeah, make sure you don't just fling it open.
Yeah.
I had a client come in one time, and I didn't see him for a while, and he was all bruised up, and he's like, yeah, recently hasn't been my week. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, I got doored twice in last month.
Did he break his collarbone?
No.
Oh, he's lucky, because that's an instant collarbone.
No, his stomach was all skid up. He flew forward, and he said everything up here was all torn up. He like Supermaned the ground.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't sound enjoyable in my personal opinion. I don't. No, but you do have to be careful on the bikes and stuff like that. Especially like Los Angeles, man, is crazy. bikes, I see them lane split and go like motorcycles. It's awesome, but you certainly have to be careful when you're driving. Of like, there is a large motorcycle coming right next to my car, and being careful about all that stuff. So it is always good to look. But when you're on tour and you're going a bunch of different places, you're walking around, what cities have you found that you really like? What do you enjoy?
Most of them. I could find something
cool to do.
Revealing about any place, you know.
Have you guys played in a smaller city that, I don't know, there's New York and New York City and stuff, but what about like some middle America place, little like Kansas, or you find some cool stuff in there that?
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be something there, you know.
Anything off top of brain?
Well, we were in like somewhere in Arkansas, not Little Rock, north, right in the corner, north west, really middle of nowhere, but went to a great museum there, Crystal something. Yeah.
So you got to see all kinds of different.
Yeah, there was a Frank Lloyd Wright house, and there was a
cool
spider that's an insulation that a certain artist always has it, you know.
Always there.
Yeah, and I was with Paz, and I go, I've seen that spider somewhere. It goes like, oh no, that's an artist that has that in different spots.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. So I went on my iPhone.
And got to track them.
And by chance I go, look, I saw this in Barcelona, and then she had one in Japan. So it was like this spider that just
all over the place.
Yeah, she just makes it at different spots.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to think of what I want to ask you, because you're an interesting guy. I guess actually, you know that
I end up in botanical gardens or beaches.
That's where you go?
Yeah.
The one thing I did want to ask you about was your personal style, because that's one thing I haven't touched on. You're wearing the hat and all the other stuff like that. Now, the way we met is through your show in Baltimore, and you kind of stumbled in doing what you were just talking about, walking around, going around and checking out places. Have you found anything on the road? Do you look for new clothing? Do you look for new like little trinkets and stuff like that?
Well, when I went to your shop, it said custom suits and stuff, and I was collecting these armbands, like bartenders wear.
Yeah.
To put up your sleeve. I was like, that's a cool little outfit.
Yeah.
So that kind of like, when I put it on, that was like it's showtime. So
that was your first step.
That was my first step. So yeah. I was like collecting those, and I went to your shop, and I asked you if you had it, and he goes, "No, we just make custom stuff there." Here. It's like, oh, okay. And then we started talking, and
yeah, you were there. We were like, it was late. Like we were about to close the shop down. Next thing I know, we were talking to you for like 3 hours. We were all hanging out. Like, and then here we are, which is pretty crazy. But as far as the hats go, you got a place you like to go find for the hats? Is there a certain store you always go to, or?
When I go to New Orleans, I like to go to this place called the Mad Hatter. Yeah, it's because it's always by the hotel, and they have a great selection of hats.
The Mad Hatter.
Yeah,
it's a great name.
I think this is where I got it. Oh no, it's not the Mad Hatter. It's Mayor the Hatter.
Mayor the Hatter.
Yeah.
Actually, that just prompted an interesting thing I just thought about. Was there ever a name for the band before the Pixies?
No.
That was the first one.
Yeah.
I didn't know, because sometimes there was something beforehand, and you guys.
We fooled around with the Follies.
The Follies.
For a little while. I don't know if anyone would remember, Charles would ever remember that, but it was like too.
Really early.
Too musical review kind of name. You expect a can or something.
That does sound like that, actually, the more you think about it. the where'd the name come from?
The dictionary. I was just leafing through it.
You just
Yeah, it's nothing special.
that we did that. We have this dictionary here. This is like this old dictionary from 1940s, and
Nice.
One day I was showing all my friends here. I had a couple friends from Maryland that were visiting, and they open up the dictionary, and Curtis was like, opens it up, and he's like, all right, everyone has to pick a word, and then you're gonna have to say it all night. And we had like
Yeah.
Curtis got gaggle tooth. It's like the worst word to get.
I just got kid.
Kid.
Hey, we named one of the suits that you made me Kid.
The Kid.
Yeah. This is, by the way, this is called Rosa.
The Rosa.
This is for the Surfer Rosa tour coming up, so we called it the Rosa. But let me see what Pixies here is. If it was different back then.
See what it is.
Let's see here.
I'm gonna move this behind you too.
An English folklore, a fairy, an elf. Oh, pixie led. I like that when I read about that. Led as by the pixies, confused, bewildered. Pixie, you never ask the directions from a pixie because they'll just get you lost.
It's the Shakespeare.
Yeah.
The Pixie does that.
They do it just for the heck of it. Yeah. That's that.
Yeah, it's. I always think it's interesting because sometimes, like for example, any band that I've ever been in, I'll come up with like 50 names, and they're the worst names. I'm notorious for he's shaking his head. We have in our house, I put all this soundproof everywhere and made our living room this jam room where I put music equipment, and I had all these people, and every Sunday I would invite over all of our friends, and I'd put 5 pounds of chicken in a crock pot and would have everyone make whatever barbecue chicken and all this other stuff. And for the longest time I kept telling them, I'm like, we're gonna make a funk band called 5 Pounds of Chicken, and no one but that's why I always ask.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, see, finally someone says that. Yeah, Curtis was like, no, but it was always funny though, because coming up with the name always seems like the hardest part, because you guys find a style of music, and then you get the right people, and then you start making stuff, but then it's what describes us, and confused, bewildered, that type of stuff. It definitely has it definitely covers the music that you guys make, which is
I looked it up as mischievous elf.
Yeah,
it said mischievous little elf. It's like, all right,
is that you?
Is there a big elf? But, yeah.
Giant pixie.
Yeah,
that could have been you guys. Yeah. But so what's next on the stuff for you guys? Anything new?
Well, we're gonna go to London, do 5 shows at the Roundhouse, and do the Surfer Rosa tour.
That's got to be awesome.
Yeah, got the jacket ready. This is just this is for the tour.
It's really fun working with you, because you always are doing something very different. And a lot of times when I work with people, it's much more, let's do a navy suit or a gray suit. And every time we get together, it's always like, well, I'm thinking red, or I've been thinking about a white suit, and we're doing this. And then, it always comes out to be something really cool and different, which for me, I don't always get to work with. I don't always get to work with people doing cool stuff like that. So,
it's great, Yeah.
I appreciate you giving me some interesting things to work on, because they always come out cool, and I always see the photos, and you're playing on stage and you're wearing it. I'm always like, that's pretty rad. So, the one thing that so I know how you met Charles. What about drummer Paz, how'd you guys all connect? How do you know each other?
Well, the drummer was Kim Deal knew the drummer,
so and that's where it all came from.
Yeah, he came in, and then Paz actually played with my ex and our band, the Martinis, and she played a few shows with us. And it was her first time out of California touring around too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I remember her being really good. And just years later, it's like she just popped up. I called up a friend, and I didn't know which bass players to pick, and then it was Josh said, "Paz." I go, "Oh yeah, gee, I think of her. Of course, come on in."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing everything you guys have been working on, and you guys are sounding really good. The tour you guys did was like, you're, at least, when I saw you guys, you guys sounded tight. I mean, so what's the band chemistry? How does everybody work and on tour and as a team? I mean, you guys seem like, you're all pros. You know how to do the job, but you guys come with there's a lot of stress, a lot of stuff going on. I mean, how do you guys work like together? I mean, you guys get to see each other often, or what's behind the scenes, behind the life stuff? What do you do?
Well, not really. When you have your day off, sometimes you just want your own time off, or you'll have a friend there and that you want to visit. So that's a lot of the times, and then sometimes we'd get together. It just be spur of the moment.
Just depends on what's going on.
It just depends.
Yeah.
Like Charles and I would go out, have coffee, meals, and then Paz and I like to get mani-pedis. Yes.
That's your thing.
Mani-pedis. It's relaxing.
You're always showing your hands, so I guess that's your thing, is you want to make sure they're nice and pretty.
It's just relaxing, and it's a great way to hang out with Paz and stuff, because she likes to do that. I do like to do it.
Guilty as charged.
You do?
Yeah, man. It's pretty awesome.
I mean, it's amazing how the crap they get rid of. When they're doing that thing with the little scissor and all that skin comes out. You're like, where the heck did that come from? It's disgusting.
I got my friend and I went to Greece, and they have these fish tanks, and you put your feet in the fish tank, and these little fish will eat dead skin off your foot.
Oh yeah,
it is insane. I mean, you're sitting there, and you're like, your feet are all ticklish and stuff. I mean, it's one of those things that's just it's the weirdest feeling thing, but.
Oh man, that'd be funny, dropping acid and sweating it out and watch the fish just go like,
See them go crazy?
Yeah, just like doing these flips and trying to walk.
Seeing the fish going all nuts.
Yeah.
But I think the one of the last things I wanted to ask you about was, do you have a favorite guitar? Do you have one that you
I play Les Pauls, so I like them. I know what they do. I know what they sound like. I could manipulate the sound good.
You're comfortable
with it. But I have an affinity for Tellys too, and Rickenbackers, and when I'm home, I play different guitars.
Is there one that
you can't really just like
but I mean
play with a heavy ass Les Paul on your bed. I mean, you
that's
can.
True. Yeah, that's true.
I've done it because it was my only guitar, but now there's
you have a couple different ones you like.
Yeah.
Do you ever play acoustic?
Yeah, I got an acoustic guitar.
You play any other instruments?
I'm a midiot, and bass, but I don't.
Not really.
It's not. I don't have the feel for it. There's.
Yeah.
You could tell. You could tell it's a guitar player
playing the bass.
Playing the bass.
Well, we got 2 minutes. Is there anything that you want to talk about? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, as far as jazz too, I got a friend that used to be in the Wings.
He'll be on here soon.
Oh yeah, that Denny, that put out a new record, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a trio, so I like trios.
His music's good.
Yeah, with trios is it's weird. It's a jumbo shrimp. You could hear more stuff going on.
And but all three of those guys they're excellent. So they hold it down. And he'll be on in a couple weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. So we'll hear more about that too. But his new album is good. I was telling him.
I just got a name for a band.
What's that?
A Little Jumbo Shrimp.
A Little Jumbo Shrimp.
Not Little Jumbo Shrimps.
Little Jumbo Shrimp.
Little Jumbo Shrimps.
Should I keep my eye out for the new band?
It'll be Bayou music,
Have you ever played a banjo?
I played a banjo.
What is that? A guitar banjo?
That's what they called it. This kid called it. I played it on his album. Banjo. Paul. Yeah, it's a 6-string banjo with banjo string. With banjo strings.
It's a guitar with banjo strings.
No, it's not a guitar. I forgot how it was made.
Huh. Weird.
It sounded like a banjo.
Well, anything else?
No. Yeah.
Any public service announcements?
There is something else.
What do you got?
But I just want to be mysterious. So that's it.
So everyone's gonna have to think, what was that final thought?
Yeah.
That was never shared.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Well, fine. I can read minds anyway.
Yeah. There's plenty of other things.
Joey, thank you for being on here. I appreciate it. This is Reap What You Sow. Joey, thank you again.
All right, Seth. Thanks for the duds. Just came in today. Love it.
Looking good.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right.